South Africans have until the end of this month to comment on amendments to the Marriage Act. This after the Home Affairs Department gazetted a new green paper for marriages, which includes proposals for the recognition of polyandry, which would allow women to be married to more than one man at the same time. This is a hot debate that is splitting opinions across the nation. Newzroom Afrika's contributor, Paula Hashe, brings us a special feature that explores the concept of being in a consensual relationship with more than one partner.
Family, as we've always known it. Mom, dad, and the children. Maybe a pet or two to make life a little more interesting at home. But does this structure that many of us have become accustomed to work for everyone? Let me introduce you to Abby van Staden. She's 30 years old and lives in Cape Town. Like many people, she's dating, but not in a way that you would expect.
Partner means different things to different people. Right now, I have one person that I consider a partner. In other words, they are romantic, sexual, friendship connected to me. The other relationships that I have are still budding and developing. I have relationships that are platonic, but there's sex involved. I have relationships that are romantic without sex. So the word partner can be used in so many different ways, and it's such a personal definition. But if you want a number, then I'm currently seeing about 4 or 5 people.
Okay, so you are involved in several relationships, as you say. There's sex involved in some of them. Do your partners know about each other?
Everybody knows about everybody else. So it's all ethical non-monogamy. There's no lying. There's no hiding things. It actually makes life a hell of a lot easier not to hide things and lie the whole time. Certain people will end up meeting each other, but that isn't necessary. It's not the way that everybody operates. But I prefer to have partners and have people in my life that are comfortable with running into each other.
I hear you. Now, dating several men at the same time is obviously unconventional. In fact, it's frowned upon in some cultures and religions. Does this mean monogamous relationships don't work for you?
No. We all think that they do, but I think we see monogamous relationships ending as a failure, and we feel pressured to climb this relationship escalator. You date for however long, then things get serious, then you move in together, then you get married, then you have kids. There's like this formula that you have to follow. And I don't think we need to follow that formula anymore.
So what relationship formula should society follow then? Some people prefer what's known as polyamory. It's pretty much what AB is part of. It's a practice of engaging in multiple romantic relationships with the consent of all the people involved. This may sound like a new dating concept to some people. So, to get a better understanding of it, I approached Spiwe Sithole, a facilitator at an organization called Polyamory South Afrika. He has done extensive research on unorthodox relationships.
The idea that a person can marry or be involved with more than one person is something that is not new. What is new is the terminology that we're now being exposed to: polyamory, ethical non-monogamy. Let's assume that you do indeed still appreciate your partner, primary partner, but you happen to develop something for somebody else. You see, the absence of us having a conversation about non-monogamy, be it polyandry or polyamory, is very dangerous, because any person who finds himself in that situation is forced to take only one route, where they conceal facts from their partner, where they engage in activities without speaking to their partner, And this is dangerous for many reasons. It's dangerous because it's part of the reason why so many marriages are failing.
It's interesting Spiwe says this because I recently met a couple in the south of Johannesburg who faced the exact predicament he is describing. Welcome to the home of Danielle Bigger and Stephen Duplessis. They are a happy family who are raising their 4 children. But several years ago, Stephen was confronted with a serious moral dilemma.
I also felt monogamous at the beginning. Like when we started, I also thought, no, one love, one marriage, one relationship. But as we were eased into it, I also found interest in other women. And I wasn't honest about it. I always hid things. I always lied about stuff, saying, no, I'm not doing this with this woman. I'm not interested in this woman, whatnot.
In essence, Stephen was cheating on his partner. Although Danielle was initially upset about it, the two sat down and engaged in an incredibly uncomfortable discussion.
To be completely honest, we say to each other, look, there might be some time where we would want to explore our desires for other people, but we understand that that doesn't impact on our relationship or how much we love each other or how committed we are to our family, how committed we are to our specific relationship. Whether or not we have relationships with other people, we still love and respect each other.
So the two struck a deal. They would both embrace sexual and emotional relationships outside of their family structure without hiding anything from each other. But here's what I specifically want to know. What goes through Danielle's mind in instances where Stephen is out enjoying his time with his other partner?
I'm at home with my kids. I'm happy, we're watching a movie, we're spending time together. What he's doing with his time, I don't control him. I don't seek to control where he has his attention. But I do seek to be happy when his attention is with me. And he's an involved father, he's an involved partner. So if he does spend time outside, it's something he's earned. If I spend time outside, it's something I've earned. And we secure with each other to know that we'll come home.
Tough love, man.
What about Stephen? How does he feel about the idea of the mother of his children spending the night away from home with another man?
I'll be happy for my partner because she'll be happy because she is doing things that she will want to do. See, she knows herself. Like I know myself. Like I know for a fact my partner would also probably feel jealous in something if I was to go spend time with another person and me being with someone else. But the thing is, if I'm open and honest about it, I'm showing that I'm loyal to her. I'm showing that I'm open with her and I'm not hiding anything.
But how far is this couple prepared to push the love envelope? What if, for example, Stephen wants to have children with another woman?
Firstly, me, myself, not being able to have more children and being somebody who absolutely loves children, that would be good news to me. Although, either way, it's not my decision. It's not even his other partner's decision. It's completely up to him whether or not he would want to have children. If it's something that he does want to do, it's not my decision to make. I need to just be supportive of him and respect his partner, because that's also very important, is to have respect for our partners.
There you have it. This is how some families prefer to play the game of love. Danielle and Stephen have been together for over a decade and have been polyamorous for about 2 years. But it certainly hasn't been all rosy. There's always a flip side to such relationships.
We're human beings, we get jealous. So I can imagine that if polyamorous relationships are not well managed with good boundaries, there could be a greater opportunity for heartbreak or for jealousy if things are not well managed. I think if it's culturally acceptable, it's not going to be a problem. But if this is a new concept that one's introducing, and also if there are multiple partners coming in and out and being introduced into a family dynamic, I don't think that that's initially very healthy. If you're in a committed relationship, I think that's different. Instability for children is not a great thing for them to have to contend with. And also, with children, there's the added dimension of stigmatism.
Not only stigma, there are other factors some people find problematic about non-conforming relationships.
Men naturally they are territorial. No man will want to have his wife and share his wife with another man, and that will bring about anger, fights, and we don't know whether this is going to be a competition between men fighting for a woman, and also which woman wants to have multiple in-laws.
Actually, I know one who doesn't seem to mind. Her name is Samantha and lives in Durban. She asked me to conceal her identity, not because she's ashamed to be polyamorous, but because she doesn't want her partners to face unnecessary public scrutiny. Samantha, you are a 40-something-year-old woman. You have 2 children from your first marriage. You live with your 2 boyfriends in the same house. Do they get along?
They're very good friends. They spend a lot of time doing activities together. They have interests in common, so they play games together, and they will go off and do stuff. And we often go on holidays together as well.
How did you introduce them to each other?
They are both polyamorous, and they both knew from the start that I was polyamorous. And so, literally, the night that I met the person who is my other partner, I went home from the party that I'd met him at, went over to my partner's house and said, "Oh, I've met someone who's really, really great, and I'm hoping that I'll get to see him again." And then it went from there.
Now, tell me about sleeping arrangements at home. How does that aspect of your relationship work?
I have a bedroom that I share with one of my partners. I spend 2 nights in that bedroom, and then 2 nights in my other partner's bedroom, and back and forth like that. I'm fairly certain that your viewers are interested in is sexual arrangements, and although I'm not going to go into too much detail on that, the arrangement that we have is very much that we are open and honest, so that nobody thinks there's something going on that isn't, or doesn't know what's going on. But we also don't, it's not like I'm going to share everything I do with one partner about the other partner, because that's unnecessary.
And Samantha is among South Africans who are excited about an ongoing debate on non-conventional marriages. A few weeks ago, the Department of Home Affairs gazetted a new green paper for the Marriage Act. One of the proposals is the recognition of polyandry, which would allow women like Samantha to be married to more than one man if they wished to do so. Now, at this stage, you may be wondering what the difference is between polyamory and polyandry. In a polyamorous relationship, there are multiple consenting partners, but they aren't married. Polyandry, however, is a marriage of a woman to 2 or more men at the same time. It's important to emphasize that polyandry is not yet recognized in South Africa. But some political parties have warned, should it pass into law, they will take strong action.
Whatever that the Bible is against, we are against it. So polyandry is not even in the Bible. You don't see polyandry in the Bible. So we will march. If we have to go to court, we will do that. But we will make our voice known. We will voice out our opinion. We will not be silenced.
Equally, people who see the benefits of polyandry refuse to be silenced.
The disconnect in terms of polyandry being legalized comes from this idea that women's sexuality and women's bodies need to be controlled in order for society to flourish. Like if you don't control a woman's body, all civilization is going to fall to the wayside. Do you understand? So, like, I do have interest in other men. I do have desires for other relationships. So if I do, how is that unnatural?
It's a question I will leave to you, the viewer. For Newzroom Afrika, Channel 405, I am Mpolagaje in Johannesburg.